Good evening, everyone. I'm Lissy Bastian. It's Thursday, November 5th. Thanks for staying with us. The late former cabinet minister and parliamentarian Darrell E. Roll lying in state today in the foyer of the House of Assembly. Mr. Roll was a member of the Progressive Liberal Party and was the youngest cabinet minister to serve in the Sir Lyndon Pinling government. Paying respects today was Governor General Sir Cornelius A. Smith, two former prime ministers, and the leader of the opposition. Sir Cornelius conveyed his condolences to the family. Mr. Roll, during his time as a politician, served as Minister of Home Affairs, Minister of Labor, Minister of Education and Culture, Minister of Works and Utilities, Minister of Housing and National Insurance, and Minister of National Security. PLP leader Philip Davis reflected on the veteran politician's legacy.
Well, Mr. Roll has served this country well. He was the youngest minister in the government, having been appointed sometime in 1973-74, and he continued there until 1992. He made a significant contribution to the modern Bahamas as we know it today. He'll be sorely missed, and we just trust that we who have picked up the baton from which he left will be able to make him proud where he sits today, looking down at us.
Also at the viewing was former Free National Movement leader and former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram, who expressed his disappointment in the government's handling of the former parliamentarian's state funeral.
He gave distinguished service to the Bahamas over many years. In fact, his first election in 1971 helped to change the course of history in this country, because it was a time when the Free PLP ran and the UBP ran, and after the election results came out, they were able to get together and form the F&M. And so I think it is very wrong and inconsiderate of the government not to permit former Minister Darrell Roll's funeral to be held in a church, St. John's Church, where he attended.
Attorney General Carl Bathel during Senate session expressed his regret that Mr. Roll is not able to have a church service. However, he said it has been arranged for the funeral service to be videotaped and broadcast live. He also expressed his condolences on behalf of the government. Mr. Roll represented the people of Mangrove Key constituency from 1971 when he won the seat in a by-election. He served as leader of government business under the Pinling administration. He's described as a trusted and loyal Pinling PLP and an ardent supporter of the progressive movement. He served in the House of Assembly until his retirement in 1997. Mr. Roll died at home on October 12th. He was 77 years old. In our national COVID-19 news, health officials reporting 39 additional cases of COVID-19 this morning. These are the figures for yesterday. 19 cases here on New Providence, 15 on Eleuthera, and 5 on Grand Bahama. These cases bring the total in country to 6,882. 13 of those new cases are male and 26 female. There's 1,900 active cases of the virus, 61 of which are hospitalized. 54 of those hospitalized cases considered moderately ill, and 7 are in the intensive care unit, 3 of which are at Doctors Hospital and 4 over on Grand Bahama. 78 recoveries were reported yesterday, bringing the total in that category to 4,779. The death toll stands at 150, and there are 24 deaths under investigation. 276 tests were completed yesterday. 221 came back negative. A total of 37,092 tests have been completed to date. The University of the Bahamas President Dr. Rodney Smith revealing during a virtual press conference this morning that the university has had a few instances of individuals testing positive for COVID-19. However, Dr. Smith said that they had one instance of a student testing positive for the virus.
Those cases, for the most part, I think have completely recovered. We do have some people still in recovery, but it has not been anything that's affected the institution's operations. In some instances, we've had persons tested positive within an office where individuals were working. We shut down those offices and had them completely cleaned, disinfected, let a 2-week period go by
As the country faces its second wave of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, UB has understandably made many changes to how the institution educates their students, and that's going from 100% face-to-face to 90% online. Asked if students at UB could expect an increase in tuition and fees anytime soon to sustain the changes COVID-19 has brought to the institution, Dr. Smith says this.
No, I don't see any projected increase at all. As a matter of fact, for several years now, the board was very, very strategic and the new increase for incoming students. I think this was done early 2019, and then the university implemented the government's support, the government tertiary education grant. I don't foresee any proposals going to the board and asking for an increase.
Dr. Smith contends that the last increase in 2019 was done strategically and will be enough to sustain the institution. Tropical Depression Ada may impact the northwestern Bahamas early next week. This coming from the Met Office this morning. According to Chief Climate Officer Greg Thompson, Ada is currently over Honduras as of 10 this morning. The Hurricane Center is forecasting the system to be moving offshore and into the Caribbean Sea late tonight and into tomorrow. He says it's expected to move north and then northeast during the next 24 to 72 hours. By Saturday morning, it's expected to intensify into tropical storm status.
By Sunday, it is expected to be somewhere near the south coast of Cuba, north of the Cayman Islands, still maintaining tropical storm status. And by Sunday night into Monday, it's expected to be on the north coast of Cuba into the Florida Straits, near the Great Bahama Bank or the Key Sal area. During that time frame, it's expected to spread more moisture and weather across parts of the Bahamas. During the time frame Monday into Tuesday, the Hurricane Center has portions of the Bahamas in the cone of concern.
Those islands in the cone of concern include Andros and Bimini, which should expect tropical storm conditions by Monday.
During that time frame as well, due to the tight pressure gradient between that system and the high pressure to the north, winds are expected to increase significantly across portions of the Bahamas. By Sunday, we anticipate winds anywhere from 20 to 30 knots with gust to gale force. And Sunday into Monday, tropical storm force winds or tropical storm conditions could spread across, as I mentioned.
Mr. Thompson sends this message to the residents in that area.
He's just asking that residents continue to monitor the progress of the system. The anticipation is during that Monday to Tuesday time frame, there's a low pressure, a mid to upper level low that is expected to develop or persist across the Gulf of Mexico. That will eventually turn the system back towards the west and move it away from us. But during the time frame, Saturday into Sunday, Monday, we're asking residents to continue to monitor the progress.
He also says that regardless of the tropical depression's intensification, the Met Office anticipates showers and thunderstorms to spread across portions of the Bahamas. You're watching JCN News. When we return, police investigating the country's latest homicide, and the DPM warns Bahamians on financial schemes. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.